वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात् कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तमा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोतीना खलु पाण्डवैरणनदीकैवर्तककेशवः। आराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानविशेषणं आख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरघः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं भङ्गयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Forty-seventh shloka. You can repeat. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
मा फलेषु कदाचन
मा फलेषु कदाचन
कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः
मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः
मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि
मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि।
This shloka, as I told, can be interpreted from two different perspectives. Addressing the Vaidikas who are mumukshus. The mumukshu Vaidikas. Vaidikas are those who follow the injunctions of the Veda, who perform their nitya naimittikadi karma. And they are mumukshus also. They are mumukshus. Being mumukshu, but yet to be qualified for jnanam. Therefore, karma yoga is prescribed for them. Because they do nitya karma, sandhya vandanadi, agnihotradi nitya karma, and naimittikadi karma, these karmas definitely will give results. That is why in the beginning of the ritual or any karma, we also ask Amopata samasta duritakshatvara Shri Parameshwara Prityartam, then you add whatever you want. But for this mumukshu, their goal is moksha. So, therefore, instead of asking Chaturvida Purushartha Praptyartam, they will ask Parama Purushartha Praptyartam, Jnana Yogyata Siddhyartam. Because they are committed to gaining Jnana Yogyata, therefore, they do this Nitya Naimittikadi karma with the view to gain Jnana Yogyata. This same Nitya Naimittikadi karma can be turned into a Kamya karma also. By changing the Sankalpa, it can be turned into a Kamya karma. And also there are many Kamya karmas available. that a Vaidika can do. Many Kamya karmas are prescribed or given in the Veda Purva that also a Vaidika can do if they are karmis, committed to gaining the results and enjoying the results of action, and committed to continue or perpetuate samsara. They can do. But being a mumukshu, therefore they don't perform or they reduce kamya karma, they give up kamya karma, they are committed to perform nitya naimittika karma, which they cannot avoid because being the injunction of the Veda, they are supposed to do, they are supposed to observe the karma till they get sannyasa. So therefore, these nitya naimittika, the karma also can be turned into the means for jnana yogyata prapti by changing the sankalpa. Even though this nitya naimittika karma will give their own results, but if it is done for moksha purushartha, moksha in mind, then this karma becomes the means, indirect means for gaining jnanam. So, therefore only the shloka can be interpreted saying that karmani eva tava adhikaraha. You have right only in doing the action. Ma paleshu kadachana. Paleshu adhikaraha ma kadachana. Don't expect the result of action. Don't expect, we can use the word don't expect the result of action, meaning that don't have any kamya karma as your motive. When it is kamya karma, then you will expect the result of action to be conducive later or now for your experience. Because it is not a kamya karma, therefore don't expect the results. Results in the form that you gain limited results. So therefore only do not expect the results of the karma. That translation will hold only for the Vaidika mumukshu. In fact, the result is there. The result is moksha. The result is indirectly moksha, directly jnana yogyata prapti. The result is there, but that result, that jnana yogyata prapti, that is there. So whether you desire or not, but since you are mumukshu, it will give you certain chitta shuddhi. It will give you certain jnana yogyata. There is no doubt about it. So when we translate, don't expect the results of action, it means don't convert the nitya naimittika the karma into a kamya karma. Because in kamya karma only you expect the results, the limited materialistic benefits. You don't have that with regard to this karma if you are a mumukshu, if your commitment is towards moksha. So, therefore, the translation of this shloka, do your karma, don't expect the results, that will hold good only in this context. Otherwise, do your karma, do not expect the results becomes a problem. Because there is nobody in the world who do karma without expecting any result. Do your karma and never expect the results. Swamiji used to say this statement, really it's a confusing statement. That is why many wrong translations are there. Wrong translation in the sense the translation is done as such in keeping with the tradition, but it is mistaken, it is misunderstood. Because anybody reading the translation will understand one should perform action without expecting result. How can one perform action without expecting result in the loka? The Laukika karma, doing something and not expecting the result. That cannot be the intention of the Bhagavan. It means you go for the job, don't expect the salary. Who will go? You go to the gym, do exercise, but don't expect your biceps to grow. You develop biceps, don't expect that. Without expecting, who will do karma? So therefore, there is a confusion with the perspective of, with the view, the perspective of this Vaidika Mumukshu, the translation seems to be proper because that is how the tradition they translate. Do not expect the results. This is how the tradition we have seen also in the Shankaranandiyam. It also says that. But when we tell this to a common man, then do your work, do not expect the result should not be the translation. The best translation would be common man, I means those who do not follow Vaidika karma. They do karma, they do their swadharma, maybe their kula dharma, jati dharma, or their own dharma, whatever may be in whichever ashrama, whichever varna, whichever stage of life it is. As a family person, family man, responsibility is their commitment towards the family, the children, commitment towards the employer, commitment towards the country, the society, whatever they are supposed to do, their dharma, it is their karma. They must do that. They must do that. Not expecting results that we should not say. The translation for them of this verse should not be do your work, don't expect the results. That will not be proper. There, the best translation would be you have got privilege, choice over the action, not over the results of action. Not over the results, because the results depends on so many factors over which you have no control. Therefore, you have choice over action, but not over the results. Expecting the result, you do an action. Only with the results in mind, only a person can do action. But the result, it's not within your control. You know what you want to achieve, therefore, accordingly, you can put forth your effort. The amount of effort can be increased if you see the results seem to be not coming as you expected. So, therefore, and also you can analyze the possible factors which can influence the results if it is available for your control. But there are so many invisible factors over which you don't have control. The invisible factors only Bhagavan knows. Bhagavan only, depending on your karma and other so many factors, he gives the results of your karma at the right time, at the right place. Therefore, for a karma yogi who is doing the karma, the Laukika karma, whatever may be the karma, like Arjuna is being a Kshatriya, is doing the karma of engaging in this war, the battle. It's a karma. The same karma can become a karma yoga if he does the karma with the understanding that he has got only the choice over the action, but not the result. The result of the war depends on so many factors. If this attitude is called karma yoga. So the translation of the shloka, therefore, from the Laukika perspective or from the Laukika point of view, they are doing their Laukika karma. could be the best translation could be we have got privilege over action, but not over the results. You have got choice over the action, but not over the results. You don't decide the result. Therefore, karmanyeva tava adhikaraha ma paleshu dikadachana. You have choice in your action, but not in the result. The result definitely will bound to come. You cannot avoid karma pala. When you do any action, the result definitely it will come. You write the exam, the result is going to come in the form of whether you pass the exam or you secured only average marks, just pass, whatever it may be. But the results depends on many other factors which are not under your control. So therefore, the invisible laws which govern the result of action, these laws are with the Lord, and these laws are the Lord, Bhagavan. So therefore, Bhagavan is the author, is the author of these laws which determine the result of our action. We have only free will. We have free will, we have choice to do an action. But the result depend on these laws which are governed by, which are with the Lord, governed by these laws, and these laws are nothing but Ishvara. Therefore, ma karma pala etuhu bhuhu. You don't take yourself to be the author of the results of action, because these are produced by the laws which are not known to you, therefore not under your control. Because it is not under your control, can we give up the karma? That also don't do, because you are karma yogi, your commitment is towards moksha. Therefore, mate sangostva karmani. Mate sangostva akarmani. So don't resort to not doing the action. You perform action expecting results, nothing wrong. Act, you can do the action, and you can desire, you can plan, and you can perform the karma. In spite of all this, if what you expected didn't come, then don't label yourself as a failure person. Or even if you get more than what you expect, don't overestimate yourself as a successful person also. So this labeling as failure and successful person, that is not for a karma yogi. Because the karma yogi is, he knows the results are controlled by unknown factors. Bhagavan only knows. Therefore, he is very grateful to Bhagavan and accepts the results as it comes with a sense of gratitude. That is called prasada buddhi. Therefore, since the outcome is going to come as a blessing of the Lord, therefore prasada, and therefore he performs action also as an offering to the Lord. Ishvara arpana buddhi and prasada buddhi. This is called karma yoga. So therefore, the meaning of this shloka we have seen from two different perspectives. Now we will read the Bhashya. So when we translate, do not expect the result, we have to understand it is for the Vaidika, because they are doing the Nitya Nimittika, the karma. So they do their karma because Nityam. Nitya karma you do, don't, if you're not a karma yogi, if you do Nitya Nimittika, the karma, there is all these results of karma will give you Swargapalam. But karma yogi is not interested in going to Swarga Loka. He is committed to Jnana Yogita Prapti. So, therefore only the translation is, do not expect the results. but we can add. Don't expect the, or don't have the materialistic benefits as the end to be achieved. That way we can add and understand this shloka. Now we will read the Bhashyam. Karmani iti
कर्मणि इति
karmani eva adhikaraha
कर्मणि
कर्मणि एव अधिकारः
na jnana nishtayam te tava.
ज्ञाननिष्ठायां ते तव
Karmani eva tava adhikaraha. The shloka is there. So karmani eva, with regard to karma alone, adhikaraha, eligibility, tava asti. You have got eligibility with regard to only karma. Na jnana nishtayam. Here Bhagavan addresses Arjuna. So therefore, jnana nishta can be taken as sannyasa. You cannot give up the karma because you are yet to be prepared for sannyasa. Therefore, jnana nishtayam, for jnana nishta, you don't have the fitness, the eligibility now. So you are fit enough to perform karma only now. You are yet to grow. You are yet to grow to pursue jnana nishta. So you cannot run away from the battle and take sannyasa. Because sannyasa, you don't have any karma, whether it is laukika karma or Vedika karma. Only minimum laukika karma to maintain the body. And Vedika karma not there. No, you are not yet fit for it. Karma yoga is a means to give up the karma. Why do we do karma yoga? Why it is said karma yoga? Karma yoga is the means, indirect means for moksha. Moksha is freedom. So the jnani is jnanam and therefore jnani. Moksha means jnanam. To gain jnanam and therefore moksha. And a jnani is free from samsara, is free from this janma marana bandha. So a jnani, the sign of a jnani is he will not have kartrutvam. He will not have kartrutvam, bhuktrutvam. So akartrutvam, aham akarta, that is the jnanam of a jnani. Now this karma, will it not reinforce kartrutvam? I am a karta. No. The very karma is a means to remove the kartrutvam. The very karma is the means to remove kartrutvam. Karma yoga involves karma, performing action. Performing action is meant to give up the kartrutvam. That is how it is. Karma yoga is not to reinforce the kartrutvam. By doing karma yoga, you gain certain chitta shuddhi. You become a matured person. You become a sadhana chatushtaya sampannaha. Karma is like a rubbing tool. It shapes you. It shapes a person. And it shapes a person and makes a person matured. A matured person to pursue jnanam. So therefore, the same karma becomes a indirect means to give up the kartrutvam. Kartrutvam is the goal. For that, karma yoga is a means. Therefore, for Arjuna, who wants moksha, who is a mumukshu, being a mumukshu, now it is not proper for him to prescribe jnanam because he is not yet ready for it. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Karmani eva tavadikaraha. You do karma, therefore you will gain akartrutvam. That is the idea. So there is a there is a protocol. There is a scheme. Karma yoga lead to jnana yoga. Jnana yoga gives jnanam, and jnanena jnananishta moksha. Iti, there is a scheme. So you have to follow that. You cannot jump over that. You can jump if you are an adhikari. If you are anadhikari, then follow this scheme. That is the Upadesha. The next line. Tatra cha
तत्र च
karma kurvataha
कर्म कुर्वतः
मापलेषु
माफलेषु
अधिकारः अस्तु
अधिकारः अस्तु
कर्मफलतृष्णा मा भूत्
कर्मफलतृष्णा मा भूत्
कदाचन
कदाचन
कस्यांचित् अपि अवस्थायामित्यर्थः तत्र च कर्म कुर्वतः अधिकारः अस्तु मा फलेषु अधिकारः मा अस्तु कर्म कुर्वतः शत्रु प्रत्यय shatranta. So the one who is doing karma. So tatra means tatra means there. There means what? That is in doing the karma, karmani eva adhikaraha, in that means when you have adhikara for doing karma, in that karma kuruvataha, the one who is doing karma, for the one who is doing karma, paleshu adhikaraha ma astu, let there not be adhikara, let there not be adhikara. Adhikara means the claim for the pala, claim for the pala, the results of action. Here the word adhikaraha, Bhashyakara translates. Bhashyakara, it takes the word meaning of the word adhikara as karma pala trishna. Previously adhikaraha is different. The first line karmani adhikaraha na nishtayamte, there adhikara means you have got eligibility. Adhikaritvam adhikaraha. But here adhikaraha is ma pala trishna, karma pala trishna, ma bhut. So paleshu adhikaraha ma bhut. The meaning of the word adhikara here is karma pala trishna. Karma pala trishna ma bhut. Let there not be adhikara, which means let there not be the craving, the longing for the result of action. Trishna. Trishna is the longing. Karma pala trishna. Because is Bhashyakara, he addresses the Vedika. So is because at that time Vedikas, the karmatas were there, and all are Vedikas doing karma. Therefore, he says karma pala trishna. Karma referring to Vedika karma. Karma pala trishna mabhut. Kadachana. Kadachana, it is there in the shloka, which means kasyam schita avasthayam. Any condition, any time. Let there not be the longing for the results of action. Adhikara, paleshu adhikaraha ma astu. Karma pala trishna ma abhut. Iti. Then the next line. We have discussed this shloka, discussing this shloka, I think the third class today. So not getting into detail, we have seen in the shloka in detail in the previous classes. So we'll read the bhashyam and in the meaning. Yada karma pala trishna.
यदा कर्मफले तृष्णा
Yada karma pale trishna te syat.
यदा कर्मफले तृष्णा ते स्यात्
Yada karma pala praptehe etuhu syaha.
तदा कर्मफलप्राप्तेः हेतुः स्यात्
Evam ma karma pala etuhu abhuhu.
एवं मा कर्मफलहेतुः अभूः
Abhuhu, you don't see. It is mangi lung lakara. So it is ma karma pala etur bhuhu means ma karma pala etuhu abhuhu. That I is, you don't see, it is elided. It is mangi lung, sutra is that. By that, you don't see the akara there. Anyway, so yada, if, yada, when karma pale trishna syat tava, te tava, when there is a desire, when there is desire for the results of action, te syat for you, then what will happen? Then syaha, then you would karma pala praptehe etuhu syaha. You would become the hetu, the cause for the results of action. When you do an action, or when you do then action with the desire, when you do an action with the desire to gain the results of action, then you become the cause for the hetu. You become the cause for the gaining of the results of action. What does it mean? When you have longing for the results of action, then you become the cause for gaining the results of action. It means where there is longing, the karma is done with the longing. The karma is done with the longing. The sankalpa with what you do the karma. And if there is a craving for the results of action, sankalpa accordingly going to change. So if you are doing karma with the longing for the results of action, then that karma will not give you chitta shuddhi. The karma will not give chitta shuddhi. That karma, that your very longing will become the seed, the cause for gaining the results of action. It means that karma, that you are longing, what will happen? It will become the seed, the cause, hetu, for the next janma. In fact, this janma is because of the previous karma palam. So you become a karma pala etuhu. Karma pala etuhu. Karma pala is the result. This janma itself is a result of karma. So karma pala. So you become the cause for gaining the results of action. It means samsara will perpetuate. If you do an action with the longing for the results, then you become the cause for gaining the results of action. The results of action in the form of gaining another janma or whatever it may be, it will not take you towards moksha. Whereas the person when the person has chitta shuddhi, that person will not have longing, and therefore even if it does karma, it will gain moksha only. So when you do an karma with the desire to gain the result, so you are reinforcing kartrutvam. So that is going to be the cause for gaining the limited results of action. When you do an karma, the karma pala will come. So you are going to become a bhokta. So karma pala hetuhu means now we are doing karma as a karta, and later you are going to become karma pala bhokta. Karma pala bhokta could be in any form, in the form of another janma. Therefore, karma pala hetuhu ma bhuhu. You don't become the hetu. May you not become the cause for the results of action. Iti. And Bhashyakara says that in the form of another janma, it comes in the next line. So, if a karma is done with ragadvesha, then kartrutvam is reinforced, and the person being a karta, therefore is going to be the bhokta. When bhoktrutvam is there, the person is in samsara. Who is a bhokta? Only a samsari is a bhokta. A jnani is neither a karta nor a bhokta. So moksha is not possible for the person who is doing karma, the longing for the results, and therefore ragadvesha. With ragadvesha, if a person does karma, it's going to bind him. Iti. So this karma pala hetuhu Bhashyakara further says, yada hi karma pala trishna prayuktaha
कर्मफलतृष्णा प्रयुक्तः
कर्मणि प्रवर्तते तदा कर्मफलस्य एव जन्मनः हेतुः भवेत्
तदा कर्मफलस्य जन्मनो हेतुः भवेत्
यदा when a person karma pala trishna prayuktaha, impelled by the trishna, the longing, the craving for pala, the result of karma, impelled by the longing for the result of action, karmani pravartate, when a person engages in karma, then what happens to him? The person engages in karma with the karma pala trishna. He has got desires to gain limited ends in the form of vitta, putra, swarga, whatever may be. Now that result may not be gained by the person in this very janma itself. He may not be able to gain possible. So that, but he has done with that sankalpa, so that result will be fructifying in the another janma, next janma or another janma, whatever janma, in the janma which is conducive to gain the results of action. It means it becomes a cause for the next janma, successive janma. Tada, therefore, bhavet, you become hetuhu, karma palasya eva. You become the result of action. You become the cause. Hetuhu is the cause, not result. You become the hetu. You yourself become the hetu for the results of action in the form of janmanaha, karma palasya janmanaha, janma which is the result of karma pala. For that you become the cause. Hetuhu bhavet. The person would become the cause for the result of the janma. It means samsara continues. So therefore karma pala hetuhu ma bhuhu iti. Okay, then karma pala hetuhu ma bhuhu. I should not have the craving for the result of action. Does it mean should I give up action? No. Bhagavan doesn't ask you to give up action. You make the action, the karma, as a means to gain inaction, actionlessness. That is what he says. Therefore, don't give up karma. Bhashyakara says, the next line. Yadi karma palam na ishyate.
यदि
कर्मफलं इष्यते
Na ishyate, not ishyate, na ishyate. Kim karmana dukkharupena iti.
किं कर्मणा दुःखरूपेण
इति
Mate tava sangaha astu akarmani.
माते तव सङ्गः अस्ति अकर्मणि
Akarane pritihi ma bhut. Yadi karma palam na ishyate. If the result of action is not ishyate, not desired by you. Yadi karma phalam na ishyate, not if the karma, if the result of action is not desired, karmana dukkha rupena karmana kim kim kim. It means what is the benefit or what is achieved by karma. Karma is dukkha rupena. Karma, which is in the form of dukkha, what is to be gained by that karma, which is in the form of dukkha? Karma involves effort. Shrama is involved. So therefore dukkham is involved. It involves physical effort, it involves mental effort. So effort is there. Where there is effort, it is dukkham will be there. If not only the effort, there are many unseen opposite forces operating. So you have to operate against those forces. So therefore dukkha is involved. So the karma is done with effort. There is no karma which is done effortlessly. Studying Sanskritam involves a lot of effort. And the knowledge of Sanskritam not possible without effort. Doing a lot of homework. So that's a biggest thing. How much time you dedicate, that makes a lot of difference. Effort is involved. A lot of effort is involved. Adhikasya adhikam palam. Whether it's with regard to study of Sanskritam or with regard to doing japa and all. Adhikasya adhikam palam. The more you do, the more you get palam. The more you do, it means it involves effort. Shrama is involved. You have to put up with many things. When you are sitting for upasana, doing japa, physical effort is involved. In fact, effort is not there. Physically, effort is not there, but all the physical parts will tell you they are there. Knee pain will be there, all the pains will be there. You won't be able to sit comfortably for 1 hour. Effort is involved. Without changing the position of the body and doing meditation or japa, effort is involved. So any karma, whether it is kaika karma, manasa karma, more effort is involved. So manasa karma in the form of saguna brahma upasana, effort is involved. So effort is involved in any karma. So therefore, since effort is involved, therefore dukkham is there. It is where effort is there, dukkham will be there. It will be painful only. What is the point in doing that karma? If karma phala is not intended, not desired. Iti ma te tava sangaha astu akarmani. Therefore, thinking like this, karma, effort is involved and dukkham is involved in doing the karma, thinking thus, don't resort to, don't sangaha. Sangaha is pritihi, liking or inclination, pritihi, desiring. Don't resort to akarmani, ma bhut. Akarmani, ma bhut. Akarmani is equal to akarane, in not doing the action. Let there not be priti tava for you in not doing the karma. So karma has to be done, has to be continuously done till you gain sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, which is important for gaining jnanam. Jnanam is akartrutvam is jnanam. Till you gain akartrutvam, you have to do karma. Iti Bhagavan Krishna says in the Vashyakara has explained this shloka. Now, the next shloka. For that, Sangati, we will read. Yadi karma pala prayuktena
यदि कर्मफलप्रयुक्तेन
na kartavyam karma
न कर्तव्यं कर्म
katam targi kartavyam iti uchyate.
कथं तर्हि कर्तव्यम् इति उच्यते।
Karmapala prayuktena na kartavim. Bhashikara very clearly says, Karmapala prayuktena, action, karmapala, propelled, impelled by the desire for gaining the result. Impelled by the results of action. Na kartavyam. If action is not to be done, impelled by, motivated by the results of action, then karma katam kartavyam, targi karma katam kartavyam, then how the karma is to be done? That is being said. If karma is to be done, not motivated, not impelled by, impelled for gaining the results of action. Here results of action means limited results of action, limited material benefits. That is the meaning we have to take karma pala prayuktena. Not gaining the limited, that is dharma, artha, kama, purushartha. If it is for moksha, then sadhana chatushtaya sampatti is there. Karma is only for gaining that. It's only for improving myself. That is the ultimate goal. That is the goal for doing karma. Other than that, if anything is there, they all come under limited results of action only. If it is done for gaining sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, that is not considered to be a materialistic result, because it is the pursuit is moksha. Therefore, that's totally different. So here, karma pala prayuktena means for gaining the limited material benefits. If karma is not to be done, then why should karma be done? You do it. You become if you're karma yogi, you do it. And how to do it? To do it to gain sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, but how to do it? Iti uchyate. That is being said in this shloka, the next shloka. Yogastha kuru karmani
योगस्थः कुरु कर्माणि
sangam tyaktva dhananjaya
Sangam
त्यक्त्वा
त्यक्त्वा
धनञ्जय
धनञ्जय
siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva
सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा
samatvam yoga uchyate.
समं योग उच्यते.
Important shloka 47, 48. All these are the topics of karma yoga. In fact, we started the topic of karma yoga from 39th shloka onwards. And karma yoga is defined in these shlokas. So here, Bhagavan Krishna says, Hey Dhananjaya, Dhanam Jayati iti Dhananjayaha. One who has gained, was accumulated dhanam, a lot of wealth. How? By conquering the kingdoms. So Dhananjayati iti Dhananjaya. Hey Dhananjaya. Tvam kuru, you do. What? Tvam karma kuru. Karmani kuru. Yogastaha karmani kuru. Katam kuru. That is what the Sangati is. Katam karma kartavyam. That Bhagavan Krishna says. Karmani kuru. Yogastaha kuru. Yogastaha san karmani kuru. Tvam yogastaha san karmani kuru. Yogastaha. What is yogastaha? Yoge tishtati iti yogastaha. Yoge tishtati. Remaining, being steadfast in the yoga. What yoga is that? Here yoga is karma yoga. Karma yoga means, karma yoga is the attitude. Karma yoga is the attitude. Yoga buddhi. That's what we say, yoga buddhi. The attitude is called yoga. The attitude towards karma is called yoga. The attitude which the person must have towards the karma. As a mumukshu, the attitude what he must have, that is karma yoga. So yoge tishtati, remaining in the attitude, having the attitude yoge tishtati, yogastaga san, karma kuru. So it means have the proper attitude. Tishtati means having or enjoying that attitude. With that attitude, karmani kuru, may you do action. How? Sangam tyaktva. Sangam is raga dvesha. Giving up the raga dvesha. Giving up the sangam is attachment. Translation of the word sangam is attachment. Attachment to what? Attachment for the results. The results could be the karma is done with if it is done with the karma yoga, then sangam will not be there. So generally karma is done with desire. So desire means gaining the desired ends. So therefore raga will be there. Or karma is done to get rid of things. So dvesha is there. So generally karma is done with desires, binding desires. They are nothing binding desires, the desires which can bind you, which binds you, the desire which binds you in the form of raga or in the form of dvesha. So when it will not bind you, when you don't have raga dvesha. So without raga dvesha, therefore giving up the attachment, giving up the desire for the results of action. So sangam tyaktva, giving up the sangha, karmani kuru, yogastaha, yoge tishtati, tishtansan, yoge tishtansan, yogastaha, tvam karmani kuru. You do karma. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva. Siddhi is success. Asiddhi is opposite to success. It is failure. Siddhya siddhyoho. With regard to siddhi and asiddhi, success and failure, samaha bhutva, being same, remaining same. With regard to siddhi and asiddhi, success and failure, being same, remaining with the attitude of yoga, giving up the sangha, you do karma. That is called karma yoga. That samatvam, the attitude with what you do the karma, the samatvam, the sameness, the evenness of the mind with regard to the results of action, not to the karma. Because karmas are many and varied, different karmas are doing, so therefore you cannot have the same attitude towards the karma. But with regard to the results of action, you can have the evenness. The results of action should not be a binding factor when it is possible. When you do karma without raga, without dvesha, then only you can gain the sameness, the samatvam. And that samatvam, samasya bhavaha, samatvam, that is called yoga. Samatvam yoga uchyate iti. That samatvam, it is called yoga. That is the definition of karma yoga. So, therefore, the shloka explains two things. For what purpose karma to be done and with what attitude the karma to be done. For what purpose? For gaining any materialistic benefit? No. With moksha purushartha in mind, the karma is to be done with the karma yoga buddhi. So, remaining in yoga, karma yoga, that is having the attitude, and with reference to siddhi or asiddhi, being the same person, you do action which the Shastra prescribes. Or if you are doing a Laukika karma, you do the role playing, play the role. What is to be done? You play the role. How? Without any attachment, giving up the attachment to the results of action. Therefore, that is called yoga. So, therefore, samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam with reference to the results of the action. So not under the spell of raga dvesha, one should not under the spell of raga dvesha, one should do karma, giving up raga dvesha, giving up attachment. What is to be done, and that attitude, the attitude is when attitude is Ishvara Aradhana. The karma becomes a means to worship the Lord. The karma is done with the intention of worshipping the Lord. The karma becomes a worship. When karma becomes a worship, when you do worship, you don't expect, you don't, because bhakti is involved. When bhakti is involved, you don't ask Bhagavan for any limited things. Whatever Bhagavan comes, it is fine. You accept it as prasada. Therefore, the karma becomes an aradhana, Ishvara aradhana. And whatever comes, it is the grace of Bhagavan, prasada buddhi. So the result of karma is will not have any effect on you. You accept whatever it comes. You will, whether it is beneficial or it is otherwise also, whatever it may be. That attitude towards the results of action, that is called samatvam, the sameness. Sameness doesn't mean you be non-reactive. When dukkha comes, you be this. You don't react. When sukha comes, you don't react. You react, but that is a matured reaction. You accept it as Ishvara Prasada. When you gain success, you are happy. Not that you should not become happy. You can become happy, accept the results, appreciate that the factors which work in favor for you, and Bhagavan has given you the result. If the result of action is quite opposite, then you don't become unhappy also. That is also is the prasada given by the Bhagavan for the action you have done. That also the same attitude you accept, because your goal is not for the limited results of action. Your goal is the moksha. So therefore, only for the person whose commitment is moksha, he only can have the sameness of the mind. Not other person. Only karma yogi can have samatva. That is why samatvam yoga uchyate. Not any other person pursuing different purushartha. Only when the goal is parama purushartha, then only this yoga buddhi is possible. Otherwise, not possible. And the yoga buddhi is Ishvara arpana buddhi, the Ishvara aradhana buddhi, and prasada buddhi, accepting whatever comes. That is called yoga. Samatvam yoga uchyate. So without Ishvara, there is no yoga. Ishvara is there in doing karma and in experiencing the karma pala. Experiencing means accepting the result of karma which comes from the Lord. So Ishvara is there all the way. So without Ishvara, no karma yoga is possible. Karma cannot give karma pala without Ishvara. So there is an intelligence behind the action, giving the results of action. And we may call it as the order, invisible laws functioning, that is Ishvara. So therefore in the Bhashyam you will see, Bhashyakara will use the word Ishvara, Ishvarartham. We will read the Bhashya. Yogastaha iti. Yogastaha san. Guru karmani kevalam Ishvarartham.
Guru karmani kevalam
Ishvarartham Guru karmani. That is, in fact, every karma we do, we always say Parameshwara Prityartham. Parameshwara Prityartham. Mamapata Samasta Duridakshadvara Shri Parameshwara Prityartham. Invariably is there. Even when you do Kami Karma, we say Parameshwara Prityartham. So Ishvara is there. So therefore, Ishvarartham Karma Guru. Yogastaha san, being in the yoga Having this attitude of yoga buddhi, son, karmani kuru, you do karma for what? Kevalam Ishwarartham. Only for the Lord. Ishwarartham karma kuru. Ishvara, who is in the form of the karma and the dharma and this huge order. So for Ishvara's sake, you do karma. When you do for Ishvara's sake, whatever comes, that comes from Ishvara. So you will have prasada buddhi. Ishwarartham, when you say the karma becomes an aradhana. If there is no Ishvara, then karma cannot become an worship. Work cannot become an worship. So the Ishvara is important. Without Ishvara, karma cannot be an worship. So therefore, Kevalam Ishwarartham. Ishvaraya idam Ishwarartham. The word Kevalam is used to indicate that not expecting, not with the intention to gain any limited material worldly benefits. That is the importance of the word Kevalam. Kevalam Ishwarartham. The next line we will see that in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी।
धन्यवाद गुरुजी।
धन्यवाद गुरुजी।
Thank you.
धन्यवादः।